Hey all, Steve from GuitarNiche. I have a Strat on the bench here which is supposed to be set lightly floating. By lightly floating, I mean the client doesn't want the back end up too high, where standard Fender spec would be 1/8 of an inch gap at the back of the bridge plate here. He just doesn't like it. It's whether it's a visual thing or an operational thing, he's just not comfortable with it. He just wants a little bit of wiggle, and that's just fine. But whether it's a little or a little more involves the same process of getting there, like setting it up to be able to float. So I have done this instrument in the past, but I thought I'd take the opportunity to show you two ways of going about getting these fulcrum points, the screws and everything at their best angles, you might say. Okay, so the strings right now, it's not in tune. It's nowhere near tune because the springs in the back are set up for it to be floating a little bit. And if I try to illustrate this with, at pitch, it's a lost cause. Okay, so and you'll see why in a few moments here. Anyway, what I'm going to do is, in lieu of using the actual bar, I'm going to just use a screwdriver that fits in that hole. It doesn't matter if it's sloppy or anything. I'm not damaging anything. But what I'm going to do, I'm just checking the stiffness, the pressure from the strings. It's just lightening up a little bit. There we go. Okay. Now that's good. That's getting there. Okay, so this is essentially it's hardtailed, okay, for lack of a better term, and that's making a guitar from floating, or getting a Strat from floating to hardtail is a different story, which I plan to expound on after this, but first things first. Anyway, so I've got the tension on the strings just enough to, I'm not forcing the tool or anything like that, and I'm doing this for a reason. What I might do, no, this will work. This will work. Okay, I might bring that up just a hair. I just want to make sure that this is still hitting the deck, but there's not a whole lot of tension I have to use to get it to move. And I'll show you why. Because part one is, I'm going to go through these screws here. Now I've been using this thing for decades, man. This is just a custom ground flat end screwdriver. It's got a certain kind of bite and bevel in it. And I'm gonna, I'll start at the first string. I'm gonna go through a process here. Now, hear that? See that? If I turn that out a couple turns, nothing. But if I go back to where it was, hear that? So I got it. I'm using the A string, or it could be any of the other open strings, to listen for deflection as I turn that in, and then I back it off. Once I hear the deflection, I back it off a quarter turn. The other way to do this is to watch. Maybe I'll illustrate it like this, because I'm going to go on the outside. If we watch this screwdriver here, we can have you should have a visual indicator. You see that? Same process, same result. You should be able to detect that screwdriver is just walking back and forth. Now, granted, I have the luxury of having set this before, so I know it's set in the right spot, but this makes actually the illustration a little bit more easier to deal with. So during the process of getting there, some of the screws might be too forward or too far into the body. You'll see the back of the bridge plate is lifted up, and it's like you can't even push it down. Or you can see the front edge of the bridge plate lifted a bit too much, because there's a bevel underneath the forward or the leading edge of this bridge plate, and you can see through the edges here where it's actually up a little bit. That's no good either. You want that bridge plate. Here, I'll use the G string this time. So listen. See, that came right back. And I just back it off a hair. That's all it takes. That's all it takes. Now the rest of them will follow the same process. To save time here, I'll forego that because I know they've all been done. But each of these traditional vintage style, fender trim screws would follow the same process. Whether you do it using the screwdriver or using the visual cue, maybe both of them, that's how you get it done. Okay, so you'll find your optimal point for the balance and equalization across the whole front edge or leading edge of this bridge plate against the fulcrum screws. Okay. Anyway, let me see, just before I wrap it up, real quick here. I'll get it in the ballpark. It always amazes me how much the pitch drops. I'm just taking some deflection out of the string there. With a little practice, you can kind of anticipate how much that above your end pitch you can go, and then by the time you tune all the other strings, you're actually, where you need to be. But that's still, we're talking, how long did that take? A few seconds? Big deal. In the ballpark. Pretty close. Okay, strings are not stretched, but I want to make a point of something. Maybe try that one more time. Yeah, they're still flat. I'm going to give them one quick stretch, just to take some of that initial elasticity out of there. I'm getting to something here. Bear with me. A few cents over. I'm not looking for precision in this. Bear with me for a second. Beauty. Should be in the ballpark. It's still flat. Okay, one more time. Beauty. Okay. Close enough. Okay. What I'm trying to get is I want to achieve a full tone bend, pulling that back. Just taking a while to get there. That's better. Okay. I might tweak the springs just a little bit. It's less the deflection, more than a combination of that and the visual that the client likes, etc. Anyway, as we bend that string, say the A string, looky, right? there's our floating system in action there as I go through the strings. Okay, so that's all I got to say about that. Anyway, thanks for coming out. Like and subscribe. Please read the description below. There's some free resources there. Lots of free stuff on the website. As always, play loud, have a great day, and carry on. Ciao!